The teacher who vanished after warning us about something terrifying. Everyone at our high school had a story about Mr. Lang. He wasn't the cool teacher or the strict one. He was the strange one. He taught history like it was a confession, pacing at the front of the class, tapping his chalk against the board while muttering things like, "Power doesn't corrupt, it reveals." Most teachers had slides, worksheets, some sort of plan. Mr. Lang didn't. He'd walk in, close the door, and start telling a story. Sometimes it was about a dictator, sometimes about a revolution, but it always ended with the same phrase. Remember, history repeats, but only if you let it. People said he'd been fired from another school before ours. Others said he used to work for the government. No one knew for sure and no one really cared. Until senior year. It was the week before graduation when it happened. Mr. Lang showed up to class late, looking like he hadn't slept in days. His tie was loose, his eyes bloodshot. He carried a box of papers and dropped it on his desk with a thud. "I need you all to listen carefully," he said, voice shaking. "There's something I have to tell you before I leave." We laughed at first. He was always dramatic, but he didn't smile. He pulled a folder from the box, filled with photocopies of government memos, redacted names, strange diagrams. "This sort," he said, "is why I left my last job." Then he told us a story. Apparently, years ago, he'd worked on an educational pilot program sponsored by a private company that claimed it could optimize learning outcomes using data from students' psychological profiles. It started as test scores, attendance, behavior reports, but it escalated. The company began collecting things like voice recordings, social media data, even GPS logs from students' phones. He said they were using it to predict which kids would be productive citizens and which ones wouldn't. And when he found out, he tried to expose it. That's when he lost his job. Half the class thought he was joking. The other half was terrified. He handed out copies of his evidence and told us to read it. Before the bell rang, he looked around the room and said quietly, "They'll tell you I'm paranoid. Maybe I am, but if someone tries to make you forget I said this, don't." The next day he was gone. His classroom was empty. His name was wiped from the school website, his mailbox cleared out. The principal told us he'd resigned for personal reasons, but even she seemed shaken. The strangest part? A few weeks later, those papers he gave us, every single one, vanished. I kept mine in a binder, but one morning it was just gone. I asked my friends, and they said the same thing. Not lost, just gone. It's been 5 years since then. Every once in a while, I try searching for him online. Nothing. No photos, no records, no mention of him teaching anywhere. It's like he never existed. But sometimes when I see the news about data privacy or AI in schools, I remember the way he said, "History repeats, but only if you let it." And I can't help but wonder if Mr. Lang was never crazy, just early.